The UK by Allie and Grace.
Where is England?
England is located in the northern hemisphere above Africa.
England is 6,152 kilometers away from Canada, and we are separated by the Atlantic Ocean.
The UK is close to Europe, but not a part of it.
London is the capital of the UK, and it's near the bottom of the country.
London's population is 7,074,265, and the second largest city is Birmingham.
Birmingham's population is 1,020,589.
History of England.
England has always been a target for invasion.
In 6,500 BC, the glaciers on British mainland melted and the land bridge between Britain and France flooded.
This is what made the islands of Great Britain.
In 55 BC, Julius Caesar, the Roman general, invaded Britain but didn't stay for long.
Later on, in 43 AD, the Roman commander Aulus Claudius took over what is now England and Wales for 400 years.
The Romans made many things, like road networks and towns like London, Colchester, York, etc., built buildings, and also created the Latin language.
The Romans left in 410 AD to help defend attack closer in their homeland.
Since the Romans left, more countries attacked Britain.
The Anglo-Saxons took over what is now England and Wales.
In 828, a Viking named Wessex King Egbert became the first king of all of England.
In 1066, William Duke from Normandy, France took over England.
He made a new ruling class and showed Norman system of law and administration.
The king offered land to William Duke in exchange for their military services in the system known as feudalism.
French replaced English as the official language because of how much land France owned.
The Normans ruled England until the 12th century when a civil war happened in the Plantagenet dynasty. A French family with a lot of power ruled Britain from 1154 until 1485.
From 1337 to 1453, England and France fought in the 100 Years' War over who would get the right to control certain territories in France.
England lost most of their land in France.
They went into the War of Roses War from 1455 to 1485.
The War of the Rose War fought by the branches of the Plantagenet dynasty and the House of the York and Lancaster.
They fought to be king. The war ended and Henry Tudor, who became Henry VII, was king. When England was ruled by Henry VIII, Henry VII's son, from 1536 to 1543, he made England against being Catholic, and also Wales become a part of England. Late in the 16th century, England was growing a strong economy and military. Philip II of Spain attempted to take over England and take them back to being Catholic, but the English fought them and won. Another civil war happened when the Crown and the Parliament had problems with power in the 17th century, which was 1642 to 1649. Oliver Cromwell, who was second in command of Parliament, defeated the Crown's forces and then made the Commonwealth, which didn't have a ruler or a monarch. In 1660, they had monarchs again, but the Parliament still had a lot of power. In 1707, the kingdoms England and Scotland were joined together in the Act of Union. Since that happened, the nation is now known as Great Britain. In 1607, James I of England took lands that belonged to the Catholic religion in the north of Ireland, Ulster, and then began to let Scottish Protestants settle there. James I believed that his actions would prevent future rebellions for Ireland and would also slowly turn the population to Protestantism as the known religion. After 90 years, that happened in Ulster. Great Britain began to make their government more modern by using political parties, prime ministers, and a team of ministers. They represented the king in Parliament. People from Britain began to travel to places like India, America, and Australia to open trading posts. In 1801, Great Britain took control over Ireland and joined it to the UK. When Queen Victoria was ruling from 1837 to 1901, the British Empire was at its highest. In the early 1900s, Britain was the most powerful and richest nation in the world. In World War I, from 1914 to 1918, many British lives were taken and their economy was weakened a lot. There is a lot more history of England, but these were the most important parts in our opinion.
Education. In England, their school year goes for 39 weeks and they divide it up into 6 terms so the work can be easily split up. When you turn 11 in England, you will begin to attend secondary school. You are also required to go to school until you're 16 in England. Learning about other countries' education is important because eventually if you want to attend a school in another country, it would be good to know about what kind of education they have there.
Another reason it would be good to know about other countries' education is because if that country is a third world country, it would be good to see how different our education is compared to other countries so we can know how fortunate we are. Birth rate. There are 695,233 live births in England and Wales in 2014, which was a decrease of 0.5% from 698,512 in 2013. The 0.5% decrease means that not as many women gave birth in 2014 than 2013. Since the decrease is very low, it probably doesn't mean much and not a lot will change. The still birth rate is 4.7 per 1,000 kids, and it didn't change from 2013 to 2014, which means that women are still doing their best to make sure their baby is safe before coming into the world. This is a very good thing because it shows that parents in England are taking as much care of their child as they can. It also shows that England's hospitals are very good and their healthcare is well put together and effective. Total fertility rate. The total fertility rate decreased by 0.02% from 2013 to 2014. The TFR was 1.85 kids per woman in 2013 and 1.83 kids in 2014. In the 1990s, the TFR was only 1.63 kids per woman, which compared to 2013 and 2014 is very little. England might have had some underpopulation issues since there wouldn't be enough kids for jobs in the future. In 2010, England's FTR was 1.94 kids per woman, which was 0.09% more than it was in 2013. That could mean in the future England could be a bit overpopulated because of how many more children were born in 2010 compared to other years. Life expectancy. Life expectancy for England has stayed the same from 2011 to 2014, with the average amount of years being 81 for both men and women. But it wasn't always that high. In 2006, the life expectancy was 79.2 years, and it has slowly increased since then. This information is showing once again that the healthcare is improving and hospitals in England are very good. Death rate. The death rate has gone down the years, which means less people are dying. This information is per 1,000 people after 6 months. In the year 2000, 10.38 people died. In 2005, 10.18 people died. In 2010, 9.33, and in 2014, 9.34. This also shows that the healthcare in England is slowly getting better, or people are taking good care of their bodies and living healthy lifestyles. Literacy rate. The literacy rate in England is 99% for males and 99% for females. This shows that England's schooling systems must be very well developed since most of the population can read and write. Unemployment rate. The highest the unemployment rate has been at is 5.10, and the lowest is 12.00. Right now it's at 5.10. This is from years 1971 to 2016. Poverty rate. Around 19.3 million people, which is about 33% of the population, were in poverty at least once at some point in their life. Only 7.8% of those people were found to be in persistent income poverty in 2013. This shows that England's poverty rate is pretty high compared to some places, but can also seem very low compared to others. How the United Nations rates England. England is ranked 28th according to the United Nations. This shows that England definitely isn't the worst place in the world, but it also isn't the best. England is kind of in between, meaning that there are some very good aspects of it, but there are also some very bad aspects. Natural environment. In England, there's a lot of rain, mostly in winter. The sky is very gray and the ground is normally damp. Since they have a lot of rain, they also have many rivers. In popular cities like London, there obviously aren't as many rivers since it's a city, but in places like Cardiff, where there aren't as many buildings, there are more rivers covering the land. In the winter, it doesn't snow, it rains. There are also many valleys and small mountain ranges all over England. Cultural foods. People in England eat some of the same types of food as us. They're known for drinking tea and eating crumpets, but they actually eat most of the stuff that we do. Some of their common meals include mincemeat pie, lamb, curry, rice, pasta dishes, and sometimes on Sundays they have their Sunday roast, which is roast meat and potatoes. Other foods they eat have some strange names, such as bubble and squeak, which is a dish made with leftover vegetables from a roast dinner, and another dish is called toad in the hole, which is sausages and a Yorkshire pudding, served with vegetables and onion gravy. Some of these foods may sound weird to us, but in England they are common meals and served often. Different accents in England. Some people may not know, but in England they have different types of accents all over, not just a stereotypical one. There are countless amounts of accents over England, but here are the names of some. Received pronunciation, the standard stereotypical one. Estuary English, can be heard around southeast England, East Anglia, and is slowly going into the Midlands and the north. Northern England English, spoken in cities like Manchester, Leeds, and Liverpool.